The animation studio that brought you beloved family classics has now introduced a streaming service, Disney+. And now, from the same community that brought you Reactaholics podcast, comes a new show where we discuss Disney+ content old and new. Disney+Pals. Welcome to Disney+Pals.
So, Calum.
Mm-hmm.
How everything in life is just sort of plain and boring and stuff.
That's why we go to our beloved Disney Plus to escape that sort of thing, yes?
Well, it turns out that's not actually the case, and you're just a muggle. Me and Cher are both wizards.
Okay, do
because
explain.
I need to make myself reappear.
Yeah, see, she's saying that.
Hey, I'm here with my fake nerd glasses and my bitch hat.
Magic.
Everything is not what it seems when you can get all you wanted in your wildest dreams. You might run into trouble if you go to extremes because everything is not what it seems.
Calum, are you looking at my screen?
I'm looking at your big googly eyes, yes.
My magic. Bam, now I'm a dog. And if you saw my camera view, you would know that I'm a dog now. See?
I don't see it.
Yeah, that's the point. Magic.
Okay, fair enough. You make your case. Anyway, what are we talking about today in this spooky time of Disney Plus Pals?
Didn't you just hear me sing the theme song?
It's Wizards of Waverly Place.
Thank you. Come on. I did the spell. I did the fake spell that has to rhyme. I have a wand. Well, technically, this is a Harry Potter wand that I got from my Sweet 16. But still, I have a wand. I have a witch hat. I don't know why I'm wearing fake nerd glasses, but I just wanted to wear them just because.
It's because you were doing research on all sorts of magic lore before doing this episode. You're the academic here.
Your eyes hurt from reading the spell books.
True. True.
Right, so this is Wizards of Waverly Place, a beloved Disney Channel show which starred a very young Selena Gomez in her rise to fame.
I love her. Sorry.
I can see why. This was her rise to fame, and she is still most widely known for her role as the main character of Wizards of Waverly Place. Russo, yes, I knew the name, but it kind of left my mind.
I think she's probably well known for just being Selena Gomez and being a singer and dating Justin Bieber once. But I definitely was introduced to her through this show. And today we are looking into a couple of the more important episodes. Like, one of the episodes we'll be looking at today is just a Halloween episode because that is our theme of this month.
This is Halloween. This is
Halloween. Halloween. We are also looking at two other episodes, which are kind of spooky because there's a vampire in them, there's a werewolf in them, there's a mummy. That sounds really weird.
I'd argue they're better, yeah.
But we are going to be looking at those first and then the Halloween episode last.
Oh, really? Are we not doing the Halloween episode first and then the werewolf episodes?
No. We gotta say the Halloween ones last. We did that with Gargoyles, remember?
Fair enough.
That's kind of the point. I was going to do this in chronological order. But since we did Gargoyles like this, I feel like we kind of got to do this one like this too.
Okay, fair enough. Let's delve into what the Russo brothers have been doing before they made Infinity War.
The Russo brother. Wait, what? Russo siblings. There's two brothers and a sister.
No. Yeah. This is a prequel. This is what the Russo brothers were doing before they made Infinity War stuff. Wizards. Yeah. Alex Russo eventually grew up and changed their names to be
You know,
because
that makes sense.
I know it doesn't make sense, Cher, but it's fact. It's logic. This is
The
science.
Russo brothers directed Infinity War and Endgame.
It
The
really
Russo
makes
brothers and the Russo sister.
it makes sense when in Doctor Strange 2, Alex is gonna come in and guest star instead of Scarlet Witch. It's gonna be Alex, Wizards of Waverly Place, Selena Gomez in her MCU. I don't know, Doctor Strange. I could use my magic to finish my homework, or I could go out on a date with Mason.
Just insert the audience sounds.
So Calum, how were you introduced to Wizards of Waverly Place? Just recently?
I'm curious. Did you grow up with it? Did you know about it, or did you just watch it because we told you to?
I did. Okay, I did know about it. I heard about it here and there. I even heard that they made a movie. I definitely knew about it, but I grew up watching other Disney sitcom shows like Zack and Cody, even Stevens. I didn't see all of them, but I've seen some of them to be familiar with. So Wizards of Waverly Place is in that same sort of format where it's aimed for tweens because the protagonists are that age as well for the most part. And I didn't watch it until recently. Take a wild guess why. And it's a sitcom about wizards. Yeah.
Indeed. And something I think people kind of forget because it's been gone for so long. This is one of Disney Channel specifically. This is one of their big successes. Like you have
I believe Wizards is I want to say the only one because I'm pretty sure others like Liv and Maddie or all those other ones I can't think at the top of my head. I think Wizards surpassed That's So Raven for the 100 episode thing. So technically Wizards is the longest reigning, I think. I have to check, but it's supposedly the longest running Disney Channel show of all time.
Is it? I thought there were more Zack and Cody episodes. Like I guess
Yeah, there's the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and then technically they made another show where they were on a ship.
Spin-off. That I count Sweet Life on Deck and Zack and Cody as two separate shows, even though they're in the same universe. I think those are more separate shows.
I still kind of count them as the same show because even though like the parents aren't in On Deck, they're really the only them and Ashley Tisdale's character Maddie are really the only characters missing. Like Mr. Mosby is still there, London's still there. Like if it was just Zack and Cody, I would get it, but it still feels like the same show to me. I count it.
Well, there's also another factor. The movie, which actually came out on my dad's birthday in 2009, is the second highest grossing. Well, I wouldn't say grossing. That's box office, but it's the second highest views of all time. With 11.7 million watching the Wizards of Waverly Place movie. The only thing beating it is High School Musical 2. Darn you, Ortega! Darn you!
These are Disney Channel. Disney
Kenny
Channel.
Ortega, the master of the Disney Channel, the ever questionable master. I'm surprised it was. I suppose High School Musical 2 actually makes sense because it's a sequel to Kenny Ortega's masterpiece.
Wait. So just here, this movie, like Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie, it was bigger than Descendants.
Yes, it was.
Wow, Descendants was like a phenomenon for a little bit. So
well, Descendants was actually the first Descendants movie, if I remember correctly, was the highest grossing. Well, I keep saying grossing. I don't know why I keep thinking about movies.
on Disney Channel.
Yeah, for 2015, it was the most viewed thing for 2015, TV wise in the summer.
Okay. All right. Well,
and then like Descendants 2 did like those. Well, Descendants 2 aired on multiple channels like ABC and Lifetime. So with all those totals, it had like 8.6 million views on that premiere.
I find this all confusing, but I think that leads into my interaction with the show growing up. And I gotta admit, I was a pretty hardcore fan of this show. I would watch it pretty much every day. And I loved it. I've seen the movie. I actually really like the movie. I've seen, I think, every single episode. And literally, just because doing this show reawoken my love for it a little bit. After watching these episodes we're going to talk about today, I went back and rewatched most of the 2-part episodes and a couple of the 3-parts. There were 3-part episodes, right? Or am I just confusing? You see, Wizards of Waverly
Well, technically, I guess if you would count, well, I don't think there was a 3-parter. There are more sagas than like parts.
That's what I meant. That's why I referred to it as 3-parters, because Calum wouldn't know this. But you know how in this episode Juliet shows up? Juliet had her own 2-parter, where Justin discovered that she was a vampire and they started dating for a while.
They basically pulled off a Romeo and Juliet thing.
Right.
She became a secondary character for a little bit. So when she got captured by the mummy, who also appears in other before this one. Oh, we're spoiling everything. It was actually a real loss because she had been a character beforehand.
Right. Do you think we should explain the premise as well as the episodes leading up to the ones we're talking about, just like we did with Gargoyles?
Well, first, let's get Cher's reaction to, Cher's experience with Wizards, and then we'll give a little recap.
Okay.
Yes.
You go, Sherese.
Yes.
That is Cher's experience. Yes. Okay.
But in all seriousness, I will admit, I watched Wizards, but I didn't get really into it until season 2, season 3, when they started doing Wizards versus vampires, Wizards versus werewolves, Wizards versus angels, Wizards versus asteroids, Wizards versus zombies, Wizards versus everything. That's a lot of verses. Yeah, but Selena Gomez, oh my gosh, she is my idol. I freaking love her. Yeah, I had Raven Simone, Hilary Duff, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, but Selena, there was something about Selena that I really, really, really love. Not just her songs, but also her personality. And actually, fun fact, Selena Gomez was actually the concert. Was my first concert. Was a Selena Gomez concert. So that's how much I really loved her, and I love her acting. I mean, say what you want to say about her singing. I know it's not the best, but her acting skills are really good, especially in the 2-parter Wizards versus Werewolves. You get to see this emotion that we'll talk about later. But I just freaking love Selena. And I was there till the series finale and the Alex versus Alex reunion special, which unfortunately David Henry was not in, but still, I liked it.
Something you hear about a lot when it comes to actors and their roles is that the roles they play are completely different from the people themselves, and you can totally see that with Selena Gomez and Alex Russo, because she talks a little different. She has a slightly different tone in her voice. She Furley is just a different person from Alex, and it's really noticeable when you watch interviews of her. It's real cool. She was real young when I did this.
Yeah, she's a real sweetheart in real life. She's so sweet. I mean, I've never met her. The closest thing I've seen Selena Gomez was going to her concert, but she's one of the most sweetest celebrities ever.
There's this one.
Say what you want to say about her singing, but she's so sweet and so genuine that oh my gosh, I would do anything to freaking meet Selena Gomez.
Speaking of that, there is this one video of there's this little girl at a concert of hers, and the little girl is trying to get closer to the stage, and security stops her, like the little girl. And Selena stops singing the song and goes, "Oh, no, don't mess with my fans." Walks over and puts the little girl on stage and dances with her. That is a good person. I'll tell you that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think there's also another video where she was dancing with this little toddler to one of my personal favorite songs from her, "Love You Like a Love Song." She's like dancing with her, and like the little toddler was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." Oh.
Gomez is like, you hear all of this like drama about the Disney Channel stars.
Yeah,
And-
like the whole Selena versus Demi, how their friendship breaks. I mean, obviously, I know they're no longer friends, but Selena still does care about Demi despite not being friends.
I think that Selena Gomez and Zendaya seem to be the most well off after their Disney channels.
I mean, technically, Selena was diagnosed with not leukemia. Oh shoot, she was diagnosed with something. I forgot what was she diagnosed. Hold on, I gotta look this up. But she was diagnosed with stuff. She had a rough time with Bieber and stuff. But
Oh dear.
she was yeah, to the point where she had to get a kidney transplant in 2017.
Oh, did she start drinking?
Well, she's always been drinking, but it's a disease. She's been diagnosed with something. I just totally forgot what she was diagnosed with.
This isn't
It's
super.
not
But
leukemia.
it's interesting to hear.
Viewers got to know about her current condition. I mean, she's a sincere person. The show's about Selena Gomez, and they're wondering how Selena Gomez is going on. So, by all means, let's learn more about Selena Gomez.
I knew it was an L word. I knew it was an L disease. I kept thinking it was leukemia. It's not leukemia. She was diagnosed with lupus back in 2015, which is an autoimmune disease. Because I'm in nursing, so I should know what this is. I'm a nursing student right now, so I should know. So lupus is pretty much an autoimmune disease that basically affects and causes harm to your organs and tissues. So Selena had to go into surgery and had to get a kidney transplant. Otherwise, she would have died if she didn't get a kidney transplant.
Well, I'm glad to hear that she's okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as far as I know, right now she has her own show on HBO Max called Selena Plus Chef, where she's basically cooking. And plus, she just released an album earlier this year called Rare. So she's been doing good so far.
She is also a producer, I'm pretty sure, on 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, she is a producer.
She's making that money.
Mm-hmm. She's been doing a lot of producing lately.
The Netflix show, and not that I've seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about her and her acting, and from what I've heard right now about her producing and such. So maybe we'll provide a link to some of her songs in this video. I don't know.
I freaking love Selena. I still have her Stars Dance CD, so. Oh, she's also Mavis from Hotel Transylvania, for those of you guys who've been living under a rock.
I forgot she's Mavis.
But actually, I heard they're supposed to be making a 4th Hotel Transylvania movie.
Calum, what were you saying about linking her songs? We don't even link Disney Plus in the description.
No, but I have this thing where I could either put it up in the little bookmark place of the video, or I could just put it on some kind of random playlist just because I can.
Selena Gomez doesn't need us to make her more money. She's fine on her own.
Hi, Selena Gomez, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Oh God, I remember that shit. But moving forward, here is just a very quick synopsis of Wizards of Waverly Place and a little update of how we got to this two-parter we're about to discuss. So, Alex Russo, Justin Russo, Max Russo, and their dad and their mom all live on Waverly Place. They own a diner. It's a little substation.
Waverly Place substation. There you go.
It's called that because they have part of a train in it, but it's not like a working train. And also there's Alex's friend Harper, and the big twist of the show is Alex, Justin, and Max are wizards. Their dad and mom are not. Their dad used to be a wizard, but gave up his magic to be with their mom. And Harper finds out about it later, and she has to cover for them a lot. And essentially, it's about the hijinks of going to high school and having magic.
While also getting ready for the wizarding competition near the end of the series.
Yes, each wizarding family can only have one wizard. And because of that, it's a competition. Like, two of them are going to lose their magic powers. One of them gets to keep them.
Oh.
The constant episode thing is like, oh, I'll sabotage Justin, or this would help with my wizard career, and stuff like that.
Or Max just being stupid.
Sibling rivalry increased by 100%.
Justin is in the lead. He is the likely one to win it. Alex is behind him, but doesn't seem to care that much about the competition. And Max.
Max is just Max.
Max is dumb.
Which actually, I found out that Jake T. Austin used to be Diego from Go Diego Go.
Oh, that's weird to learn. But he's also in. He's either in the Vampire Show or Girl vs. Monster.
No. He was in the Fosters. In the Fosters.
No, on Disney Channel there was like a vampire show. JT Austin is in that too.
Wait, what?
I think he is.
I don't remember that. I know he was in the sequel to Johnny Calabala Back on Board.
I didn't know that at all. But in My Babysitter's a Vampire, I'm pretty sure that's him as like the male lead's best friend.
No, that's not him.
Oh, okay. I'm just
I know. No.
All right, well, I'm stupid. Back to the plot synopsis. So, in episodes prior to this, Justin got a girlfriend and discovered she was a vampire and had to go through this entire process of, like, you know, proving to her family he was worth it, proving to his family that she wasn't going to eat him. You know, stuff that happens when you date vampires.
Yeah, proof that they're not going to rip off Twilight, that they're going to be better. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, speaking of My Babysitter's a Vampire, you're thinking of what's his face, Atticus Mitchell, and also My Babysitter's a Vampire is a Canadian show.
Atticus Mitchell, I'm just dumb, man. I don't know why. I was like, it's on Disney Channel, so surely they are the same person.
Yeah. My Babysitter's a Vampire is a Canadian show.
I'm dumb. But
don't worry, I confuse a lot of shows with Canadian shows as well. You're not the only one.
Well, I might be proving myself dumb here again, but I think the main girl from My Babysitter is a Vampire is currently in Riverdale.
No, you're right.
So a Canadian show. So that adds up.
Canada.
Right. She plays not Charlotte. Cherry. The Blossom girl, the redhead. She plays the redhead's girlfriend.
Topaz or something. Tawny Topaz.
Tony. I think it's Tony Topaz.
It is Tony Topaz is her name.
The only reason why I remember this was because they did like a Riverdale, Riverdale did a Heathers musical episode, and it was not good.
It was not good. They do like the good songs, except for Candy Store.
I was like, oh.
Well, we're not reviewing that. So anyways, that stuff happens with Justin and his vampire girlfriend, and eventually that arc ends. You know, she sticks around for a little bit. She becomes a supporting character. And then a mummy shows up that Justin is supposed to hunt. He becomes a monster hunter to help with the wizard competition. And he almost turns Juliet into the wizard police by accident,
Yeah.
but then he sells off a monster that he created who saw him as a father, so he sold his own daughter to save his girlfriend. But I digress.
Breaking Girl, which is literally the first episode of season 3.
So during this time, the mummy takes Juliet as a vampire servant.
She's
And
a minion.
Mason is another boy who Alex starts dating, who we find out in this episode has a bit of a secret of his own. But one more thing, and this is really minor, and I gotta bring it up. In an episode a long time ago, back in like season 2 or season 1, Justin dated a werewolf. And it was established in that episode that when werewolves kiss like humans, they turn into werewolves. But
don't forget, in one of the episodes where they go to the future, future Harper mentions something about her and Mason fighting, and Alex is like, "Wait, who's Mason?" And future Harper's like,
Oh yeah,
so, future Harper pretty much predicted the future.
Yeah, future. So Harper. Okay, so there's a future version of Harper. She goes back in time, and she's in an episode for a little bit, and she mentions Mason, specifically the breakup with Mason. So I wonder if Alex, like in the back of her head, was like, "What the hell is going to happen with me and this boy?" But that is your lore recap. You are currently caught up to go into this episode, Wizards versus Werewolves, which I think is a pretty good episode with a couple of flaws.
Yes.
I
I actually watched the vampire one beforehand. I don't know. I like both, but I don't know which one I like better.
Well, here's the thing. When I went into this, I was very much team Juliet, because Juliet was like a character. She was part of the show for a little while. And Mason had only had like 1 or 2 episodes before this. That being said, at the end of this particular season, they turn Mason back. And then in the next season, Mason takes that role, and he becomes the sort of side character. Once again, Wizards of Waverly plays pretty good at storytelling.
No wonder they won a lot of Emmys.
Cal?
I was just going to say, and thus the cycle of people turning people into other kinds of people continues.
And with that, let's jump into Wizards of Waverly Plays Wizards versus Werewolves, Part 1.
Hit it!
Why are you playing?
Woo, Werewolves of London.
Ow.
I mean, I've heard of an American werewolf in London, but now we have an English werewolf in America.
Crisscross. But
You're welcome to all those Warren Zevon fans. You're welcome.
The episode opens on Alex and frickin' Mason having dinner. They're trying to reenact the Lady and the Tramp scene, but instead of spaghetti.
Bella Notte. So they don't have, spaghetti.
They're using a sandwich, like a sub sandwich. And
They got it at Subway.
Mason mentions, when we finally do kiss, you do realize our mouths are going to be like super full of sandwich, right? It's not going to be romantic. And here I am just setting like, yeah, brah, that's the most romantic. You care more about your lady than your food. That means something. Anyways, Mason gives Alex a necklace that's shaped like a heart.
Ooh, I have a necklace shaped like a moon. Future. And it's also a mood ring. Or a mood necklace.
See the difference here, that's a different necklace. That necklace is similar to what happened in Gargoyles. When somebody you love puts it around your neck, you're going to turn into a werewolf, Cher.
Talk about getting ferocious.
But, so when Alex gets this necklace around her, it glows red. And we later learn that means that whoever put it around your neck is like you're in love with them.
No need to check the batteries.
I'm in love with the monster.
Well, I think that's super like convenient for a relationship. Just hey, look, I trust you and all, but if you could put this on, just and just so we both know it's true, I'll put it on too. I just want this to be out there. That would have saved me a lot of heartbreak, I'll tell you what.
Do you love me? It's not working. It's not working. Check the batteries, perhaps.
Someone just puts it around your neck, it doesn't glow. Well,
Yep, but for some reason, Mason has to go, but we don't know why. He's like, oh, it's dark. I gotta go. Bye. Bye. Peace.
Something was lurking in the dark.
they try to kiss and Harper stops them. Which, by the way, does anyone remember the dress Harper was wearing in this episode? Because I do.
No, not the globe one. That's the previous episode.
Little fact about Harper. Her character, like, sort of quirk is she makes all her own clothes. And because of that, you get really creative dresses from Harper. In these
like the one where she has like markers, and then like the one where she's dressed up as penguins, and the globe one, then like the duck one. There's a duck one.
I love the marker episode because they literally just keep asking her for markers, and she has to take them off her dress. But in this episode, she is wearing a sewing-themed dress. She has sewing thread on her head attached by a headband and a needle cushion with needles in it, and it looks really cool. I can't believe you guys didn't pick up on like the fact that she looks like a human sewing kit.
I was like half asleep at the time. I was trying to wake up.
I was focusing on the fact that there's a joke that someone's interrupting the most seriously romantic moment. Right.
Well, she wears that dress throughout this two-parter. Anyways, back to the plot. Cher is right. It's night, and Mason runs out pretty quickly without saying goodbye. This happens a couple more times, especially when he's out to dinner with the Russos. And Alex...
know your secret, your dirty little secret.
Alice debates thinking maybe he has a different boyfriend, but also, like...
Wait,
I like
don't you mean Mason has a girlfriend?
Yeah, Mason has a different girlfriend. You don't know. Mason could have a boyfriend. Who knows?
Hey, I'm not against that. I was just trying to correct you.
I mean, yes, that is what this means, but you're correct. But in my head canon, it was a boyfriend, damn it.
Well, actually, funny. You know what the funny thing is? I was actually on Greg Sulkin, who plays Mason. I was actually on their YouTube channel this morning, and they were basically answering trivia questions about Wizards of Waverly Place versus Team Wolf.
Team Wolf. Team Wolf.
And I was like, oh yeah, he wanted to have tea. Wizards started in 2007. His eyes were red, I think. Yeah, that was fun.
Wait a minute. When you say Team Wolf, are you referring to like Team Jacob or something?
No, the recent Teen Wolf that came out on CW.
All right. I'm assuming it's a better version of Team Jacob.
Probably. Teen Wolf.
All right, Team Wolf. That show that I need to see on Netflix. Sorry. I thought you said Team Wolf, like Team Jacob.
This particular actor is also in Marvel Runaways, where he plays an American, and it's kind of weird seeing his like normal voice here, but his like American voice there is Whiplash.
Well, I think Greg was also in Avalon High, and he also had an American accent, I think.
I know. He's a good actor, don't
Calum
get me
has
wrong.
no idea what we're talking about.
No, he doesn't. You
Okay, there was a decom called Avalon High. It's just pretty much King Arthur, but King Arthur's a girl, and Greg Sulkin was in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And King
Thanks.
Arthur, like they think that like he's King Arthur, but he's not. It's the girl.
It's the main character. It's the blonde chick. I'm like, oh. For some reason, I liked that movie as a kid because I guess because Greg Sulkin was in it, but that movie is so boring and it's so predictable.
Well, also that guy from the Wizards movie and I'm in the Band was in it. I can't remember his name, but I love him.
So whilst the very polite boyfriend is eager to run off with a tartan shirt, Alex's brothers are still looking for the vampire girlfriend through magic portals,
Juliet!
and judging by all the seaweed that's been covered all over them, apparently they weren't very successful, as well as a lack of a Juliet. That also counts as not succeeding, I guess.
For some reason, it's been a while since I watched this. Some reason I thought they encountered the Loch Ness Monster. Or the creature from the Black Lagoon. But I was wrong.
They encountered
That would have
some
been funny.
tentacles, if you'll recall. And the joke is Max is stupid. So Max thought that was Juliet. And then he's like, well, if it wasn't Juliet, then why did you hug it so tightly, Justin? And Justin goes, I wasn't hugging it. It was choking me to death with its tentacles. I also like the joke here where it's
There's
like...
an even funnier joke of them trying to...
What was that, Cal?
Oh, sorry, you were beginning to break I was just going to say, there's another joke where they come out of the portal, and it's so much fun. Hello?
Well, there's a joke here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There's a joke here where Justin is talking about giving up and how it's hopeless. And Max goes, Justin, I've known you for like the 10 years I've known you. You've never given up on anything. And at first, Justin is like really pleased about this. But then my favorite joke of all of this comes in, where Justin goes, wait a minute, you've known me for more than 10 years. And Max goes, well, yeah, but I wasn't really paying attention when I was little, and Alex told me that you were our butler, not my brother. So,
Oh my god.
you know. Earlier, Justin says Max has his moments, and it is not with making people feel better, it is making me laugh. But Alex is through with it, so Alex decides to confront Mason about this, straight up saying, hey, Harper thinks you have another girlfriend. Tell her she's wrong.
I think there was another joke building up to that where they have a dinner scene. It's all nice and socializing. The brother is mourning the loss of Juliet with a rice snowman, which the father then eats. And then Mason runs off again.
It's not snow, it's mashed potato.
Mashed potatoes.
But he made it look like snow, and I was like, do you want to build your girlfriend?
Oh my god, that's really sad.
Your father's gonna eat her whole right down to his stomach. I don't know what to rhyme.
You had a rhyme. It was in the bowl. Mashed potatoes in the bowl.
Let's put some little gravy on your mashed potato girlfriend. And now we'll eat her whole. Do you want to build your girlfriend?
Please don't.
Pretend that it's your girlfriend.
I'd rather howl.
No, that's Mason.
But like that joke, like Harper has a crush on Justin. This is the last.
Having a crush since season 1.
Yeah, this is like the last season they play with that. Until next season when she actually gets a different boyfriend. But she pours gravy all over the mashed potatoes.
Right. So Mason runs off again, and it's then that
All
we
the-
as the audience think,
Buddy. There are 2 eating scenes. The next scene, which is an eating scene, is where Alex is being super passive aggressive. Where
Hey,
she's
guys,
like,
Hold
let's
on,
go to
building
the
up to
movies,
that.
guys. Hey Mason, you want to go to the movies? There's a movie called like I Know What You Did Last Night, and that's a really long title.
There's an even funnier joke building up to that where we as the audience know fully well that he's likely a werewolf, and their wizards are thinking, "Oh my goodness, he goes out every night unexpectedly. There's only one explanation. He's got another girlfriend, of course."
Alex says, "Thanks, Harper. I was gonna say he's like a skilled jewel thief, but yours is more likely."
Yes, more likely, yeah, that's it.
Also, like, mention the fact that he buys a lot of jewelry, which is weird because, like, he was really just trying to cover for Alex's dad, who said something stupid to his wife. Like, Alex's dad was like, "Oh, I don't buy that jewelry junk," and Mason replies, "Because it can never be as lovely a treasure as the woman we buy it for." Sort of like to help. But that sets off.
I don't know why I keep thinking about like the ASDF movie thing. Is like, honey, why is the baby on fire? Buy me more jewelry.
I have met the creator of the ASTF movies, yes.
But this is where, like, we get all the passive aggressive jokes where it's like, "Oh, let's go see a movie." Like, "I know what you did last night, you dirty cheater." And
That's an awfully long title for a movie.
The sun goes down. Alex says, like, I think you have another girlfriend.
The sun
And he
goes
runs
down,
out.
the stars come up, and Mason turns into a werewolf.
Well, the whole thing is Harper is waiting to, like, follow him. But instead, Harper, like, got tired during gym. So she just grabs him and holds him. Also, another funny joke. Wizards of Waverly Place was always pretty funny. Mason turns into a werewolf in front of them. He goes full wolf. They scream. Then commercial break. But after the commercial, Mason turns into like a normal werewolf, and he's like, "Sorry, sometimes I go full wolf when I don't need to."
As Calum points out, he's British, so it's a Briton that's in America. So a teen British wolf in America. Is that the right?
That was kind of a play off the film American Werewolf in London, but now it's English Werewolf in America.
Hit it!
With and a vampire and a mummy later.
Woo, werewolf in America. Fun fact, that's actually me playing on the piano.
You're welcome. Oh, that's good to know.
Idea. But, so, what I like here is Mason isn't an idiot. And he essentially goes, "All right, you guys didn't scream and run away. What are you? You're not normal humans. You didn't get scared. What are you, elves, wizards?" And I do think there was an episode with leprechauns. But Alex reveals she's a wizard. Harper reveals that she's nothing. They kiss and they decide to keep dating.
Wait
You're
a minute.
a wizard, Alex. You're a wizard.
You're
Wait a minute.
web.
Didn't we just establish that Alex turns into can turn into a werewolf from that kiss?
Well, that's actually addressed later. But Mason mentions that, like, that's only with mutts. He's a purebred. Which raises questions, but I will ignore all of them. So Mason reveals himself to the whole family. He tells a little story about how the first time he became a werewolf, he accidentally entered a dog competition and became best in show. Once again, Wizards of Waverly Place is pretty funny. But Justin is being all mopey, and Alex gives him the chance to make fun of her because she essentially like always made fun of his wizard girlfriends, including a centaur.
Yeah, there's a centaur. He dated a werewolf who he turns into a werewolf. That was back in season 2. Yeah.
Alex
Just has been having some.
just-
Oh, he also dated a Pretty Little Liar.
The weird thing with Justin is Justin seems to like exclusively date magical creatures. Like I
And
think
a
he's
Pretty
been
Little
dating
Liar.
at some point, right?
He dated a Pretty Little Liar too.
I didn't see that show. I apologize.
Lucy Hale. For those of you guys who don't get my joke. Very funny, Sherese.
It was funny. I'm just not smart. But he surprises her by not making fun of her and just goes, Alex, I'm just happy you have somebody. Love is a great thing. And this moves Alex to the point where, like, she encourages Mason to help him find his girlfriend using a piece of dental floss.
He's like,
Just kept doing creepy things with the dental floss.
Of all the things that he kept as a memoir of her, it had to be her dental floss.
with all the saliva.
During this.
There's also a really funny joke from another attempt to rescue Juliet. We've established that she was captured by a mummy, so they go looking for the mummy. Max, being the dumb that he is, takes a little kid and says, "What? Okay, what's the sad little kid for? No, don't worry, he's gonna give us a lead. What is it you said before? What is it you said? I love my mummy."
Find his mum.
The way we pronounce mummy is different from the UK to United States of America.
It's like, okay, kid, we're gonna go find your mommy. Please don't press charges. We'll give you a lollipop. You like lollipops? Yeah, you like lollipops.
Justin, don't offer stolen child candy. That's not how you do it. I love two child abductions this time around.
Without children, God catch ya. Max is just so dumb to just kidnap a kid.
Here, mommy.
Yeah, Max kidnapped a kid. There's no way around it. That's two for child abduction this year.
Yeah, Focus had one, and then they had a whole bunch of kids, and then Max's. I hope our next one does not have any child abductions.
Our next one's about vampires, so I don't know. Spoiler.
But so eventually they find out that Mason's a werewolf, so get the brother to get Mason to sniff the dental floss, and they travel all the way somehow to Transylvania.
Ooh, did they see Mavis?
This is a reference to Hotel Transylvania, brought to you by Sherese Sarrazin.
They don't pay me at all.
By the way, they at least imply that they didn't use magic to get there, because Max does a joke with Mason where he's like, "I don't understand why we're willing to wait like every hour or so on this big trip for Mason to go pee on a tree, but when I do it, you hit me." Max, you got your moments. Mason finds this little setup of ruins in Transylvania, and the mummy is just sort of chilling.
Chilling like a villain. Chilling like a villain.
Episode. And his voice was always weird to me. Like, it wasn't a monster voice. It's like, "Oh, hey everybody, what's up?" And It's weird that like the mummy sounded like somebody's uncle visiting for Christmas. But I digress. The mummy, they shield their eyes because the mummy can mind control you if you look into his eyes. So they keep talking to him. The mummy has a really funny line where he's like, I knew that you'd find her eventually. Your love for Juliet is a compass leading you directly to me.
Oh,
And Justin goes, really? And the mummy goes, no, but she wouldn't shut up about it. My boyfriend's trying to get me. Once again, I guess the mummy has his moments too.
So they have to figure out a way to defeat this mummy. And how do they do that?
This mummy goes down like a bitch. What happens is, Max steps in shit. Like, literally, he steps in poop. And then he's like, oh, I gotta get this off my shoe. So he picks up a scarab beetle and starts to...
He establishes that Juliet is...
Yeah, you're right, Cal. Juliet is in a mural on the wall. And the only way to get...
ruins his church suit, so he gets this mysterious object to scrub it. Hey, that's not a shoe scrubber! I need something.
Legitimacy of witches and wizards going to church. But that's a debate for a whole other day.
Well, he did say church suit, and that's definitely what he said. Carry on.
Calum. So what?
He grabbed a scarab. Max is secretly Blue Beetle.
Indeed. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad actor for Blue Beetle. But
let me get so frustrated that he just
Cal. Describing Calum.
This beetle.
You're breaking up, buddy. Can you hear me?
Oh, guys.
Sorry,
Hey,
kind of breaking.
Guys,
I can hear you now. Yes.
Hey, guys. Jake T. Austin actually did play Blue Beetle.
Oh, really? Was he in Injustice? Young Justice.
No, I think he was in Justice League Action.
Oh, that's cool though.
So technically, Jake T. Austin did play Blue Beetle, and he picks up a scarab.
Cal, you were breaking up a little bit when you were mentioning everything, so I'm just gonna recap it for a second, if you don't mind.
Right.
So the mummy establishes that Juliet is trapped in a mural, and the only way to get her out is this scarab beetle, which Max totally used to clean shit off his shoe. So the mummy takes it away like, no, this is the key to freeing the girl. And Max goes, well, I gotta use something to clean it. And he grabs the mummy's bandages and starts unraveling the mummy. Once again, this guy went down like a bitch. Like, his body is currently being used to remove poop from a shoe. That is worse than dying on the toilet. It's just...
Yeah, the mummy just didn't feel so good at that moment.
Yeah, he turned to dust, Mr. Stark.
Oh, here we go. So Jake T. Austin did play. He played Blue Beetle in Justice League Action, Justice League versus the Teen Titans, and Titans: The Judas Contract.
Oh, neat. I didn't know that.
Right. So after defeating the mummy very easily, he grabbed the scarab beetle key.
Literally, it was like, how did Justin not defeat this guy before? But I digress. I don't remember that episode super well. So they get... Thank you, Cher. They get Juliet out, and Juliet is back. You know, this character we haven't seen in forever is finally here. She's barely in the episode at all, but she shows up here, and she hugs Justin. What's the big twist, Cher? Would you like to say it?
Oh, I thought you were finishing your sentence. I'll let you
Oh,
finish.
I said so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hugh Justin. That's it.
Oh, okay. What a twist! Biggest twist plot. Are you guys ready? The biggest twist plot. So apparently, Mason and Juliet used to date each other 300 years ago. Dun dun dun. To be continued.
And we pick up right there. Before we continue, what did we think about the first episode? Calum, I'm interested to see what you think because you didn't have any information going into this. So, how did you like the episode?
Well, actually, I saw the Halloween episode first, but then after the first, I must the werewolf episode is not only funnier than the Halloween episode, in my opinion, but find out later in the second part. But you get bold in that regard.
Calum, you're
I
breaking
gotta
up. Like hardcore, we can't understand you.
Ah, darn it, not again. Right, so, funny episode.
Well, you liked it, even though you didn't know a ton of stuff.
Pretty much. No.
All right. Cher, what about you? Cher, what did you think about this episode? You're being... Oh, God damn it!
Werewolf London.
Werewolves in Transylvania. That's common.
So
I thought the episode was fine. It was very funny at times. I think the second episode was like where things start to fall apart. But I do still like both these episodes. With that, let's
And
jump.
now, time for part 2.
I
So-
see you with anticipation.
So it's revealed that they dated and they're hanging out for a little bit. And, you know, Mason can't stop.
Impulses.
Yeah, he's impulsive. It's established that werewolves are a creature of impulse. They aren't really great at these situations. So the fact that he saw somebody he knew from a very long time ago and had feelings for, you know, when you see that person, sometimes those feelings like come back for a brief second and you feel them. For Mason, that is literally like, okay, I now had to tell her I love her. And he does that. And it breaks Alex's heart. Justin gets angry at him, and I did want to say Justin gets very hostile with Mason, which I kind of get because the dude just like flirted with his girlfriend and broke his sister's heart. But also, you got to remember, without Mason, Juliet would have still been in that wall. So, I don't know. It's a little weird that Justin was so gung-ho against him. But they...
Everyone's broken. Well, except for Max. Max is like, hey, we should, I'm about to flash out because my brother and sister are going to cast a spell to get me back to the house. But, we should probably, shh.
Yeah,
everything is not what it seems.
Even though it was established before this episode, Max has decided in this episode that he is friends with Mason. Something I like about this is that he constantly makes mention of wanting to go to Werewolf Thanksgiving.
To eat pilgrims.
Yeah, but the joke, here's the thing though, which is kind of weird to me. Pilgrims are people. Outwardly saying, I want to eat people.
So is Mason? Wait, is he a cannibal? No, not. He's not a cannibalist. No, never mind.
He's
I was
Max.
thinking it.
Mason is not a cannibal because Mason is a werewolf. Max is a cannibal. Although it is fucked up that, like, literally when they bring up Werewolf Thanksgiving and Max is, like, talking about the pilgrims, Mason even says, "Oh, now I am craving pilgrims." Meaning he does eat people. He eats people. I just want that to be clear. Mason has eaten people, specifically pilgrims.
With some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Oh, were you talking to me because my name is Sherese?
Hello, Sherry.
My home, little Sherry's.
Moving forward, Mason's left alone. This is where we get some really good acting from Selena Gomez.
Exactly, this is what I was talking about. Say what you want to say about Selena, whether you like her or not, whether you like her for her singing, or you just don't like her at all, whatever. You have to admit, this scene hit hard. It hit hard. I remember watching this. I don't know if this was true. I think this two-parter came out the exact same time as the Super Bowl in 2009 or 2010. At least that's what I remember. I think it was the night of the Super Bowl, and like, it was some type of football game. But I remember this scene crushing me so hard. I felt like I was gonna cry. Like, it hit so hard. To this little 9-year-old I was watching it, I was like, I feel you too. I feel you too, honey. Let's cry together. I want to cry. This is phenomenal. This is pure acting. You can see her nose is red. Her nose is red. Her eyes are red. You can see the tears. She felt. You can feel it. If you don't feel it, you do not have a soul. Okay? I felt that. I wanted to cry. It was heartbreaking. Say what you want to say about Selena Gomez, but this scene is why I love her. Just this scene. Okay.
Fact about Neil Burris. During the premiere of this episode, I want to say 2 days before it, I had my first heartbreak. So I actually watched this episode with a broken heart, and I was like, "Yup, this is how I feel on the inside." I'm not gonna tell my parents about this, but yep, that's me.
Well, at least you're not alone. If Selena Gomez could go through that kind of trauma, then I guess so can all of us.
Yes, Selena Gomez, Earth's greatest warrior.
Specifically, if we can go through the trauma of having a werewolf spouse, only to find out that they dated a vampire 300 years ago. You know, that kind of feeling, yeah.
I mean, that happens to everybody right there. I mean, I remember the last time I was hanging out with my zombie girlfriend, and then she dumps me to go hang out with a werewolf vampire half-breed.
I mean, it must have been a bit too stingy out there in Egypt. Maybe you kind of went the wrong approach and pulled an Anakin Skywalker on her.
I said zombie, not mummy. I didn't kill sand people. Ron would never forgive me.
Wait, zombie? Are we in zombies again? Oh God.
It like
cheerleading zombies.
But moving forward, hey, as long as they're not narrating their entire life to me, they can date me.
What I mentioned earlier about describing going through that relationship, that's literally one of the jokes that the mum makes as she comes in. I mean, I don't have a guide on how to deal with daughters who hang out with werewolf boyfriends and have a vampire girlfriend from 300 years prior.
Indeed. And
And Mason decides to come visit Alex. Did I say Alice? I am so sorry. I'm just the emotions, man. The emotions.
well, right before that, Alex's dad decides, hey, we're gonna cheer Alex up because Alex is a prankster. So instead of giving somebody a cola, they give him prune juice. And I know this doesn't apply to anybody else in this call and maybe anybody else in the world, but as somebody who went to a restaurant once and like got a Coca-Cola and instead of like drinking the sweet taste of cola, instead tasting something totally different and nasty, I felt for this guy. I just sat there, you and me, we have both been in pain. Yeah, literally, I went to a restaurant with some friends, and I like left to go get my food. It was a buffet. And when I came back, they poured salt, pepper, and like a ton of shit into the drink. And I was just like, no. My cola. There are just days, man. There are just days. I'm sorry, what are we talking about? Disney stuff?
Yeah, we're talking about cola pranks.
Well, after this, he loses a customer and they think it's going to cheer her up. It does not. She literally goes, oh, that poor man. And they do a joke where it's like, wow, Alex has a heart. We only know it because it's broken, but Alex has a heart. So Mason apologizes, doesn't work. He hangs out with Max a little bit. Get used to hearing that, because you're going to hear it a lot. Alex
And then
says,
like before that, he starts making like these like werewolf and like fox, werefox, weremoth, and I'm like, wait, what? What does this have to do with anything, Max? What are you trying to say?
Was just weird.
What?
Where like he's like, Max, where's Alex? And he just goes, where Alex? I didn't get it.
Oh, where Alex?
When the breakup does happen,
Where
Alex,
Selena Gomez?
where Miss? When the breakup does happen, Alex says, look, Mason, I've screwed up a lot. I accidentally trapped my family in a horror movie. I've done a million things wrong, and everything she's saying is a reference to a different episode of the show.
Actually, she was trapped in a horror movie. She's supposed to get into a horror movie, and then she also made a reference to the movie where she casted a spell that her parents didn't know her.
And then at one point, her mom just goes, Alex, honey, we get it. You've screwed up a lot. She's heartbroken, guys. Give her a break.
But it's okay. You remember what Hannah Montana said, guys. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way. Nobody's perfect. We gotta work it again and again till we get it right. Nobody's perfect. You live and you learn it. And if you mess it up sometimes, nobody's perfect.
She's perfect.
Nobody's.
One of us, Calum, join our Hannah Montana cult. One of us. One of us.
What happened to you, Miley Cyrus? What happened to you?
Come on, you'll get the best of both worlds.
I'll tell you what happened. She stayed relevant. She didn't fade to obscurity. Good on you, Miley. You made it work.
There's a fair point.
So, she went through a phase.
So, the breakup, it's like, I've never told somebody I love them when I didn't. He leaves, and she looks to her family and says, it took everything in me to not take him back. So they all decide to, like, take watch on her. Harper has the first watch. And Alex is watching a scary... She fails, but Alex is watching a scary movie about werewolves, and Harper's like, you're watching a werewolf movie? That's not going to help. But then Alex reveals exactly how it will help when she starts talking about the scene where the villagers trample the werewolf and kill him.
I say let's kill the beast.
She
I'm
was
not
just
sure.
watching the beast and thought the beast was a werewolf.
That was literally the first thing that popped in my head. She's like, those angry villagers are gonna surround the beast and the werewolf and kill him. I was like, let's go kill the beast.
Well, it's time to take some action, boys.
In the Waverly place where the wizards are the cafe and they have a boyfriend with werewolf on the scene.
Vampires rise, people die, because they bite and scratch and analyze.
And now let's go on to the next scene.
Yep. So anyways, Mason is hanging out with Max, who has a really dumb joke here, where he needs first of all, he has his wand, so this whole thing is mute. But Max is trying to unlock the door, and he's like, door's locked, but there's a key inside. I'll go get it. He goes to open the door. He can't. Then he goes, the door's locked. But there's a key inside. I'll go get it. He does this 3 times. And then somehow gets in without using magic. And he's like, hey, you know that door we never used? Well, the key was inside, but we didn't have the key. And that's how we got in. And I'm
Oh, Max, you and your levels of stupidity.
I now believe that this means Max is so stupid that the laws of physics couldn't handle him. It blocked itself to stop the madness.
Oh yeah, what were Newton's 3 laws again? For every action, there's an opposite reaction. How would this apply to this example here?
So anyways, Mason tells Alex, he like gets in, he tells her, hey, I still love you, and I can prove it. We gotta go get that necklace I gave you. If you put it on me and it glows, it means I still love you. Oh, also, when like Alex found out that Mason like said he loved Juliet, she threw the necklace. Max also picked up the mummy's eyes, which will lead to something a little weird that happens later. I think there may have been some rewrites in this episode. So anyways, they go back to Transylvania. Justin finds out, and they go to get Alex. This is where the fight scene happens.
Fight!
Lee is there with Justin, and Justin starts saying, hey, I'm going to take Alex back, even though Alex wants to stay and find the necklace. So this is where the writing gets kind of shitty. How does Mason stop Justin from leaving with Alex? Well, maybe he should remind Justin that it was him who actually saved Juliet. And without him, Juliet wouldn't be here to begin with. Or maybe he should appeal to the friendship of Max and Justin and try to just buy a few precious minutes and get them to maybe help look.
Or he just decides to become a werewolf. Hit it! Let's go! Werewolves of London.
It's not London! It's not London!
Werewolves.
We're in Transylvania!
A movie! It's not London. It's not London.
It's the song! That's what the song's called!
You know what, Cher? When that necklace turns you into a werewolf, you could go to London.
Make sure it's a real werewolf. We want really good practical effects, like in the American Werewolf.
Not Michael Jackson?
Well, he turns into a werewolf. And
that too.
He gets ready to fight Justin. Fight. Instead, Juliet has to come in because she's a vampire. She can actually fight him. This is some of the worst, absolute worst of a stunt double coming in and them trying to cover it up. You can clearly see she is a stunt double.
And that jumping turning whip kick, y'all, I'm like, yes, because that's Justin doing that.
Yeah, Justin.
Idiots! You caught their stunt doubles!
Even Power Rangers have better stunt doubles.
Power Rangers excellently usually does stunt doubles.
Because they're in helmets, right?
That, but also Power Rangers, like, for the most part, they hire people who can do their own stunts. Like, obviously, sometimes they need people who are good at specific things, and some people have rules about explosions. But for the most part, the combat and fight scenes are actually the main characters fighting. Here, they're really bad stunt doubles. And the stunt doubles are doing their job. They're, like, doing the scenes well. It looks good. But it's just weird to hear Bridget Mindler's voice in the background going, ow, when it's clearly not her.
Yeah, this scene was awkward. I was like, yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this is a Disney Channel show. Right. Their fighting skills are not always the best.
Alex has managed to find the necklace up at the top corner of the ruins, and they're trying to get it as Mason fights off Juliet.
He does it in a really dumb way, though, where first she, like, throws a rock at it, but then she takes off her shoe and throws her shoe at it. And then Justin gets a hit on, like, Mason with his wand, and he's about to do it again, but then she throws his wand at it, and you can hear it fall into, like, a river. Why didn't she just use... They have spells for moving stuff. She does it in this episode with dishes.
Comedy.
So I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe their heads weren't in the game. They gotta get your head in the game, guys. Come on.
Get your head in the game.
I also don't understand why everyone viewed Mason as a threat. Yeah, he went full wolf, but they didn't establish that meant that, like, he was more violent or anything. In fact, they established the opposite because he went full wolf in front of Harper and Alex and didn't kill them. So,
did we establish why he got angry to go into full wolf again?
Well, because Justin wanted to take Alex away from him.
Right, okay. Just checking that out, sorry.
Well, this thriller.
Understand the threat. Because he gets a hold of Justin. And in my head, I was like, okay, Mason is going to hold Justin until Alex can find the necklace. He doesn't have his wand anymore, so he's not really a threat, but Mason didn't see the wand get thrown, so maybe let's just assume that Mason is going to hold Justin there. I didn't think he was going to kill him, but Juliet seems to have thought he was going to kill him. So she
sacrifice.
Something that is considered to be an incredibly terrible act, and she bites him, her being a vampire. She bites a werewolf. And after that, Mason goes back into, like, his lesser werewolf form, and it's revealed that when she went to bite him, he scratched her. So he's like, you bit me! What happens when a vampire bites a werewolf? Once again, here's the weird writing. In this world, instead of, like, becoming a hybrid, or, you know, like, nothing happening, it turns them into actual wolves. Like, not a werewolf, not like a person, he's just a wolf now. And when a werewolf scratches a vampire, again, weird reasoning, they lose their powers and revert back to their original age. And she reveals to Justin that she is
2,193 years old.
You're old. Uh, Justin
Yeah.
doesn't care. He says he's going to stay with Juliet. But of course, they have to. Alex and Mason had to say goodbye. But luck of all
If you
luck,
love me, let me go.
They get the heart necklace, but too late.
werewolves in London.
And now we're
the heart. Max finds the heart necklace, and here's what's weird: in the earlier episode, Max took the mummy eyes. He put them in his pocket, and he took them home with him. So when he went to get the necklace and bring it to Alex, he makes a comment saying, "But the mummy eyes are still up there." But he never threw them up there or anything. He took them home. Which makes me think maybe this ending was rewritten and the mummy eyes were supposed to play more of a role. Maybe Mason was mind controlled into saying he loved Juliet in one of the rewrites.
Or maybe Max is just being Max.
Well, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But
Either
then
does
again,
Max.
Creating plot holes that'll confuse you and your children. Do 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 do.
I mean, you're right. This is Max. So, anyways, Max goes back up. Alex puts the necklace on Mason. Shock of all shocks. Turns out he did love her. And they had a very sad goodbye. And then Mason turns into a wolf and walks away. Meanwhile, Juliet transforms into her actual age. The makeup here is good.
2,193 years old.
Well, the makeup here is good enough to make her look really old and decrepit, but she should be dead. Like, by all accounts, like, I don't understand why this would age her quicker, but it's magic, so maybe it would. If she is actually 2,000 years old, she should be dead.
Like Mother Gothel from
Literally.
Tangled.
Ugh,
You've all
oh
seen
my God.
Tangled.
Ugh.
When
That
she
scene was
kept her
terrifying.
youth up for so long that when they cut the hair, that Mother Gothel turned old, fell down the tower. Well, we don't even see the body; it just goes poof. She's just been keeping that up for that long.
And she wasn't even that much older than, like compared to, like, Rapunzel. Obviously, Gothel was an old woman when she found Rapunzel, but Rapunzel was 18 when she got out of the tower and Tangled takes place, meaning she was only using Rapunzel for 18 years. Here, she is clearly 1,000 years old and should be dead, like fucking dust on the ground. She should be getting her frickin' ashes confused with the mummy dust.
Disney, creating more questions for you and your kids. Why even bother to explain anything? Do 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 do.
You're right. You're very right.
Welcome to Kingdom Hearts.
So even though at first Justin tries to stay with her because he still loves her, it's pretty clear they can't have a relationship, and she just
If you
walks
love
away.
me, let me go. I've been getting into Panic at the Disco a lot lately, so yeah.
Juliet makes a couple more cameos throughout the seasons and does actually come back in the last couple of episodes of the final season, where her and Mason have.
Series.
Yes, Bridget Mendler would go on to be in Good Luck Charlie. But, continuing on, the episode ends with Alex and Justin sitting beside each other, and Alex says, "Promise me one day we'll find normal people." And Justin just sighs and goes, "We're not normal people." And then Max howls at the moon because funny.
Because he's Max.
Yeah.
He's
And
mad
then like
Max.
Justin pretty much, spoiler alert, like Justin pretty much, he's still sad for Juliet, but then he finds an angel in season 4 named Rosie, and they kind of have a little one-off together. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I also remember the part where he literally goes, "She's an angel." That part was
Angel
weird.
of Darkness.
Yeah, it's revealed she's like a bad angel.
A fallen angel, of course.
With like the wings of like Supernatural, they have like the black wings. I was like, oh, okay.
Funny you mentioned that. The poster's right behind you.
But yeah, that's the end of Wizards versus Werewolves, and yeah, it ends on that sad moment.
You know, for kids. Hope you guys are able to sleep that night.
Well, yeah, just remember, heartbroken Kneale watched that. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't going to end how I want to.
This is the problem with nostalgia. You think it'll be, just like, oh, I remember watching this when I was like 9. It's just as good as I remember. And then years later, it's like, oh, it's a little bit disappointing. Very bittersweet.
I do like,
I
weirdly enough, I like the romance between Mason and Alex. I think that was handled pretty well. The thing I didn't like, first of all, Juliet is barely in the episode at all. She's in the end of the first parter, and then she's mentioned throughout the second parter, and then she's at the end of that too. And that's it. And a lot of that time at the end, it's a stunt double. So it's not even fair.
Yeah, okay, so comparing, like, the verses, I still like the vampire one a little bit better than the werewolf one. Just a little bit. And then, of course, there's the angels one, which, I don't know, I haven't watched that one in a long time.
I remember liking that one as a kid. I remember liking all of the episodes where they went to the magic school, you know?
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons I liked it most definitely. But I also really liked the joke where the one wizard. So there's a Dumbledore type character, Calum, just so you can imagine
Crumbs.
this. He's got a beard. His name is Professor Crumbs. And there's this evil wizard kid who's like, I am taking your job. I am taking your spot. Give me your beard. And then Professor Crumbs reaches up to his beard and takes it off and hands it to him.
That's pretty funny.
That is probably my funniest joke in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Give me your beard.
Your beard. And they're like, we can't unsee him without the beard.
When he gets the beard back. Yeah, there's also a running joke where they're like, where is your beard? We have to get the beard back. Oh, we should have done that episode. It was so good.
Maybe for the future.
But now we got to move on to the final episode we are looking at today, the Halloween episode, which actually takes place before this.
The Monster Mash.
This episode's pretty straightforward. It is established that they're going to lose the substation. Well, not the substation, but they're going to lose their Halloween night. Because every year Justin is in charge of it, and Justin makes it educational and not scary. So this year, the guy who's in charge says, hey, you got to make it scary. And Alex has been saying that from the beginning, and they don't know how to make it scary. So Alex is like, we're magic. Let's get real ghosts. And my favorite joke in this, and you guys can tell me if you agree, is that every time they go to like talk to the ghosts, they have to like go down a grave and they steal jewelry from dead bodies. They literally grave rob in this episode. What did you guys think about that? Was it funny for you? Because it was funny for me.
I must have missed that one.
There's specifically a reference where Harper is like, I wish I would have gotten a pair of earrings off of that body. And later, Alex goes back and she's like, "Oh, we got to take the long way around. I got to get some earrings for my friend." Anyways, they get 3 ghosts that aren't all that scary. A guy whose brain is under his hat, a fisherman who tells stupid stories, and an old woman with bony hands. They're also trying to hide this from the mother, but when the mother sees these not so scary ghosts, she's like, "Hey, use magic. We got to save this thing."
Oh yeah, and then they recruit Alex. I should say Alex recruits Mantooth. Oh my gosh, Mantooth used to be like my fear as a kid. Maybe because like the horrible special effects, but oh my god, he freaked me out as a kid.
It just made me laugh my ass off as a kid. Like, so Mantooth is like supposed to be like your Beetlejuice ghost.
Your boogeyman. He's a boogeyman.
He's a boogeyman. Well, you know, the reason I compared him to Beetlejuice is because, like Beetlejuice, he goes in and his job is to scare the living. It is also established in Wizards of Waverly Place lore that the only thing that ghosts can eat is candy. Which is a very weird thought, but it's all they can eat. So Halloween is like their only chance to go grocery shopping, really. So Mantooth apparently had been scaring Justin as a child.
And other kids, but mostly Justin.
Justin is like seeing Mantooth and he screams at the top of his lungs, "Captain Jim Bob, protect me!" Which is the name of his action figure, who also gets an episode later.
Jim Bob.
Yeah, Captain Jim Bob. He's played by that one actor who's like, he also plays narrator Smurf, if I recall.
Wait, what?
You know narrator Smurf from the Smurfs? He's Captain Jim Bob is the same actor as him.
Wait, like the live action Smurfs?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. I bet this better be true.
I think it's true. I'm willing to bet.
I gotta look this up. Hold on. Oh, Yusuf. Wait.
Stupid
no.
or is he correct?
Okay.
Yes, find out in moments next.
See, Johnson Winters, Kate Perry, Alan Cumming. Oh, Alan Cumming. Oh, I know Alan Cumming. He was in the Spy Kids films.
Alan Cumming is in the Smurfs movie?
Yeah, Alan Cumming.
He played Nightcrawler, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't narrator Smurf, was he?
No. He
Okay.
was Gusty Smurf.
Oh, that's weird. I did not know that.
Oh. Okay. Him.
Oh, you know him?
Him.
It's the guy with the white
From
hair.
Powerpuff Girls?
Not him. He recognizes this actor because he's in a lot of stuff.
Tom Kane.
Tom Kane. He hosted a game.
Tom Kane plays the Professor Utonium and him.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make sure this is the guy I'm thinking of, because if not, I'll find out who he is.
I don't
Tom
think
Kane.
so.
You'll look for him. You will find him. And you will nerd out about him.
Can you do a him impression?
To be honest, I haven't seen Powerpuff Girls enough to know what his voice sounds like, I'm afraid. But
Okay, so he does like this really eerie type, like sweet, sinister voice, and then he just goes like deep. It's really weird. He's like,
that sort of thing.
Powerpuff Girls, come over here so I can kill you. It's kind of like that.
Come to me so I can kill you. That sort of thing.
Kind of
Right.
like that. It's just, kind of has like a little echoey effect.
Don't worry, everyone. And then it gets all deep.
He is not the only demon king of Cartoon Network.
Captain Jim Bob. Okay, there we go. Who plays who?
This
I'm
actor.
gonna look this boy up.
I know
Who is-
his name. I gotta find it though.
Oh wait, John O'Hurley?
John O'Hurley. Him. He's in a lot of stuff. His voice is really recognizable. So I thought he was freaking.
Oh, he was in SpongeBob. And the original Pop-Up Girls. Oh no, not the original Pop-Up Girls. Oh, he was also in Casey Undercover,
Hmm.
American Dad, Phineas and Ferb, Gravity Falls.
He's super recognizable. He's in a lot of stuff.
The rest of the
Oh, he
episode
was
is
in
just
one
going
of
to
the
be mentioning
Beethoven
people.
movies.
John O'Hurley. He is our current mention.
Pair of Kings.
I feel so stupid for confusing his voice.
Oh,
But
he was in Drake and Josh.
oh yeah, he played he didn't play Henry Doheny.
No, he played Dr. Carlson.
Yeah, he was in the Doctor episode where he's like, "This is Dr. Testabaum."
Wow.
Subtle.
Well, moving forward, let's move past David O'Hurley. It's essentially she gets a ghost that is too scary, and it scares all the kids. There is also one funny joke in this episode worth mentioning, where Max is dressed up as a ghost, but his ghost costume is literally a sheet with a mustache, and he is the ghost of mustaches past.
Oh yeah, and the mom's dressed up as Cher.
The dad
You know,
is like,
gypsies, tramps, and thieves.
and Harper is the bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, and then like Jerry, you know, the dad is basically a hobo riding a clown.
He's a hobo on a clown who reads the future, because why wouldn't he be?
I don't.
It's a terrifying future for the kids. A
Oh
truly
yeah, and then
terri-
Justin is a skeleton. Justin is the skeleton without the bone head, like Mr. Bones, right? Mr. Bones. Did you find that insulting? Yes. Yes, you did. Go back. It's not time for Halloween for spooky nights. That's not till Friday.
Apparently, you didn't like it. It must have been kind of racist when he made the sound that skeletons make when they're cold.
That is our sound.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, honey. I'll see you Friday. It's not Halloween for some spooky nights yet. Not yet, honey. It's okay. Anyways,
I have a skeleton inside of me. I'm allowed to make that joke. So, what were you talking about? Oh yeah,
we were talking about like the episode and like Mantooth arrives and he does
well,
like
essentially, there's not much to talk about with this episode. Mantooth scares the kids too much, and they decide no more Waverly Place Horror Nights. They're not allowed.
It looks like Mantis is just going to do some really stupid baby faces, only to then completely surprise them a third time around with a really scary face.
Well, here's the thing, though. The stupid face he does, like the baby face, is actually the one he does to scare Justin, where he just goes, oogly boogly boo! And that's actually Justin's terrified face that he hates. So, yeah, both of these episodes end in failure. It's weird. But yeah, Halloween episode was pretty okay. I think it needed a little more Halloween. Like, they spend a lot of time going and getting the ghosts. I would have liked to see Max trick-or-treating as his mustache ghost. I think that could have been funny.
Mustaches past.
Yeah, I think the best of these episodes is probably Wizards vs. Werewolves Part 1.
Mhm.
Although acting from Selena Gomez in Wizards vs. Werewolves Part 2 is 100% like the best part of all these episodes here.
I must admit, I liked the werewolves episodes. They were, I think they were funnier. They were more engaging, and a bit of a more of a tragic twist to it, which I appreciate it being quite bold like that. And of course, the better acting. Yes.
Well, I pretty much watched all the monster episodes because I just wanted to. I still like the episode where it's like they battle against zombies. So like it's like wizards and vampires versus zombies. So zombies, it's like an anti-prom, and like zombies invade, and then they have to do like this dance at the end. I don't know why I just like that part. I was like, oh yeah, time to do Thriller.
Of course.
Wizards is a weird show in the best way.
Yeah, they found that like the wizards versus vampires, majority of the episode was cut, and I'm like, why is it cut? I remember this one scene in here, and then it just got cut. Maybe it's because they had to film the 23 minutes thing, but I was trying to find what was inappropriate about that episode, but I think they just had to cut it because of the 23-minute rule.
Well, now we move on to the theme parks. Wizards of Waverly Place has never been that big in the theme parks, but what would you
Selena
do?
Gomez has performed at the theme parks a couple of times.
Yeah, but we gotta focus on the show, not the person here. Although she has done Christmas performances there, which I like. Or that might be a different... I don't know.
I will say this, though. Something that I've probably forgotten to mention about other Disney Channel related content in terms of the theme parks. You probably won't see them in the theme parks outside of merchandising. However, when you get back home to your hotels, chances are the children are going to turn on the televisions, and most likely you're going to see the shows like the one we just mentioned on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as mentioned before in our zombie review, the first time I saw a zombie was in like a Disney hotel, or like I think the Nickelodeon hotel at the time. I don't remember. Today's a weird day for me.
Wait. You saw a Disney Channel movie at a Nickelodeon hotel.
Like 5 minutes of it before I turned it off and went, oh my god, and felt physically ill, yes.
Their rival. Oh, okay, I see.
They still got the Disney Channel? I like Disney. I am a man of simple tastes.
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste. You see, I like Disney channels and Disney villains and Kenny Ortega.
And gasoline.
Gasoline.
I wouldn't know what to do if I got all of them, but I know I do something.
I'm like a kid chasing mascots. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught one.
I know what I would do. I would take off his hat and run with it. That's mine now. Are you okay, Poochoo? You okay? She's like, hurry up and end the episode. I want pets. So if you had to implement Wizards of Waverly Place into the Disney parks, what would you do? Because obviously it doesn't have anything there now.
Good question.
I think I would steal from Universal.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, Harry Potter has like the rides, and then they gave out the wands and all that other stuff. Because technically, Wizards was created during the Harry Potter hype.
Well, what I would do is in Universal Studios, they have this thing where you buy a special wand that costs a little more money, and it
Like
can
this one.
stuff in
Like
the
this one.
park. Indeed. It can interact with stuff in the park. So, if you wave your wand at like this umbrella, water will drop from it. You can move things like skeletons and stuff. I think I would implement it where there's just certain locations, kind of what they did with Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Phineas and Ferb for a little bit, where you could shake a wand. Let's say Alex's wand, but you could also get Justin's and Max's. Maybe make a couple wands, honestly. And you could use their wands to interact with things in the park. Especially because later it's established that there's like a family wand, which is like really special. It looks like a stick, but with a controller handle. It's weird. It's in the movie. We'll get there eventually. There's like a rainbow aspect to it, if I remember right. I don't know. But yeah, Universal is making tons off this, Disney. You got wizards too. Steal.
Remember, you created wizards during the Harry Potter hype. During the Harry Potter hype train, you created wizards on Waverly Place.
I'm just saying the big argument here is, well, Disney's got lightsabers, but Universal has magic wands. You get magic wands too, Disney? No more argument. And you know they can't get lightsabers because you own that one. Calum, do you have any ideas?
Outside of dolls and merchandising, not much, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad
I used to own an Alex Russo doll as a kid.
Well, speaking of dolls and merchandising, it is time for Kneale's Merch Corner. Thank you, Cher. I like that you play that fake trumpet every time I do this. It makes me happy. So, obviously, back in the day, there wasn't a ton of merch for this, which is kind of sad to see. So, once again, we do have the option to go to our friends at Etsy. And the thing I am recommending today is, even though they did sell this, this was a thing that was sold. It was shitty, and it wasn't good. And I don't recommend getting it. Because on Etsy, you can get a much better version of Alex Russo's wand. It looks really good. I'm about to send a picture of it into the group chat. Just give me a minute.
By all means. So why didn't it work whilst we're waiting?
Well, the version that was made by Disney, it wasn't like actually Alex's wand. It was like a toy thing where it was made of plastic, and it was really just dumb. It was too big. It didn't have the right look. It didn't even, like, you wouldn't have recognized it as Alex's wand at all, as far as I'm concerned. But if you want to go over to Shane Hosteller, or Tetler, it is spelled S-H-N-E for Shane, H-O-S-T-E-T-L-E-R. You can get this nice looking wand that I'm about to share, and Callum. I said Cher. I always call you Cher, though, so I don't know why I laughed at that.
That's okay. I was called Cher Bear with my Girl Scouts.
Well, I thought about, like, the singer Cher. That's why I laughed.
A big red stick with a green marble at the end of it.
Really horrible. It looks like a random stick with a marble on it.
It's not a lot of
That's what
merch.
I just said.
That's the guy we're promoting.
We are promoting sticks with marbles on them. Sounds like a good marketing strategy.
I would buy it, sir. Mr. Shane, I would buy it. Don't let these knaves, don't let them talk down to you.
Now I'm just thinking of that one scene from Meet the Robinsons. Look what I found, Doris! It's a stick!
Well, there were dolls. There was also like a crystal ball with Alex in it, and you pressed it, and I think it told you your fortune or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't count on it.
There were necklaces.
I remember when I was a kid, there used to be, they actually advertised this. It was a doll with Alex, and you were able to change her clothes with, like, magic.
Was it like the water trick that they were all doing at the time?
Yeah.
And guys, you can sass that wand that I just showed you all you want, but this right here that I'm about to send you is the one Disney sold.
Okay.
Is it worse?
Yeah. As far as I'm
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. We have
I think
sticks with
I prefer
marbles
my
at the
Harry
end.
Potter one. You know.
it's plastic. It's
What is this?
crap.
The
Oh,
heck?
Doesn't
I
even
haven't seen it yet.
The heck is this?
It's just a leather handle with a plastic marble at the end.
I swear, it looks like Ray the Firefly's butt.
Got my big butt going, and we're just gonna sell this merchandise. I think she got a little too much lime juice in there.
Like it's like they made like a plastic, you know, like a paper thingy majigger, and they just rolled it up. They just took paper, rolled it up. They took Ray the Firefly's butt and just attached it on top of it, and there you go. Just paint it red, and we'll call it Alex Russo's wand. Now you can get it for $5.99.
Shelly, no, the sticks now. Shelly, no, the sticks now. Ripping them off the way. We got the whole merchandise. We got the sticks with marbles on the end of them.
It's slightly racist.
We gotta do that movie sometime.
Love that movie so much.
So yeah, that's pretty much Wizards. I'm happy to have you guys do my recommendation since Calum had to do. Well, we didn't have. Well, we did because Calum wanted to. But I still like the gargoyles. But you know, I still Selena. I can't say no to Selena.
Well, you
But I still
also
like gargoyles. I just couldn't say no to Selena.
you also inspired our next choice, which is we are leaving the realms of Disney Plus, ladies and gents.
That's
right.
Bold move.
But don't worry, we're still reviewing something that Disney happened to own at the time of its release. We are reviewing 2 episodes of Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Magical Shores! Mystic
I am
Force!
still baffled that Disney owned Power Rangers for a brief amount of time. I would never have known about it if that was the case.
Yeah, I think it was definitely like the 2000s. It was like the 2000s era. Like from I say from like either Lightspeed Rescue or Ninja Storm to RPM.
Weirdly enough, Calum, my 2 favorite Power Ranger seasons, RPM and SPD, were part of the Disney era.
SPD is like my favorite. I freaking love SPD.
SPD.
Did you not express in the past that Time Force was your favorite?
No, Time Force is my favorite of the Neo. So of the post Zordon era, Time Force is my favorite.
Okay.
After Zordon dies, Time Force is like the best one.
Yeah, because that, you know, Jen is arguably the best pink Power Ranger ever.
I don't think there is an arguably there. Jin is the best pink Power Ranger because she's the only leader. She's the only pink leader. But next week we will be looking at Mystic Force. I'll have to give Calum a little bit of a recap on that as well. We're only 2 episodes, and then for our final Halloween review.
Wait, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't say his name 3 times.
I won't say its name any times. Maybe I already have. But that will be next, and it will be much bigger. Longer than a movie, even. So we will see you guys for Power Rangers next, and then something else quite big. How are we going to end the episode?
I got it. No, that's my line. My line, honey. My line. My line, honey. My line. My line. Well, I guess since this was a really great episode, tune in next time when we do Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Werewolves in London and Transylvania and America and my mind. Bye.
Ghosts with mustaches. Hercule Poirot would be proud.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna drag this out as long as possible. Okay, I'm ending it.